The Sao Paulo qualifiers for IEM, this course Europe and Africa qualifiers. I like how, I mean, it's really political that they include Africa, but I mean, outside of Panda Tank, are there even any African players?
Panda Tank, and there's a guy called Static.
Well, I was saying, like, outside of Panda Tank.
There's, like, Static is, like, a High Master South African guy who, like, I've never seen him in anything except for DreamHack Bucharest, where he was in, Nerox's first group.
Alright, well guys, getting into the introductions now. It is, of course, Rifki casting with Penguin, and this is Base Trade TV. I hope you're enjoying the broadcast so far, but spawning here for game number 2 and up 1 in the series, the lower left corner of the map, it is the blue Terran player from My Insanity. Give it up for Jjakji.
And in the bottom right spawn location, horizontal from his opponent, we're going to be having our Belgian Protoss player, currently teamless, so if there's any team managers looking out there, he's had a pretty sick run already. He's going to be our red Protoss player, Feast. Also, I want to point out that Scarlet's about to take game 1 off life.
Absolutely cool. Before I forget, because I forgot already, you can find, of course, Feast on Twitter at FeastSC2. And our My Insanity player can be found at MYI Jjakji. I heard through somebody's Twitter that they're having trouble spelling his name yesterday on the NorthCon stream.
Oh my god, no, like, my story for the, do we have time to kill? We have a little bit of time to kill. Okay,
it's TVP, so we got time to kill.
I opened the stream, and there was a schedule on the stream yesterday, and there was 6 mistakes in the schedule. Like, first of all, it was, the next match was Wellmu versus Innovation, and it said next up Life versus Innovation, which is a minor mistake, that can happen. And then next up was Stardust versus Jaedong, 7 p.m. It's current, like, at the time it was 5 p.m. and they were already playing on another stream. My favorite one comes now. You go down further and the match times for Group C were 11 p.m., 12 p.m., and 13 p.m.
That's middle of the day, right?
No, that's 1 a.m. They somehow decided to make 1 a.m. 13 p.m. It's not even the hour that's 1300.
Well, so I was going to say, 1300, that's 1 p.m., isn't it?
Nope. It's like, they just decided to make 1 a.m. 13 p.m. It's my personal favorite. And then you go down further, and you see Scarlet versus Jjakji. And then they corrected Jjakji spelling to another misspelling. So it was then Scarlet versus Jjakji.
Well, that's a very unfortunate thing, but of course, Jjakji here today now. Name improper spelling, goes in with that Reaper, tries to poke at, but of course the Mothership Core comes out of that perfect timing to drive it off. Now on Frost, what's really annoying is it looks like there's a lot of angles to come into the base, but down here, of course, it's 2 levels of elevation, and this little lip, it's kind of hard to see on this angle, but this little lip is the only way into the base from this side, so you can actually kind of predict where the Reaper comes from with relative ease, but not like the Mothership Core is too fast, so it can't camp that location. If it sits there and it's the wrong spot, it's like, oops, that's a probe.
Yeah. He's just got to be a little bit careful here, but with the Nexus, he has pretty much good vision of where that Reaper's going to be coming on up. This was a pretty nice play from Feast, pretty greedy. Meanwhile, though, we already do have the orbital about halfway done at the natural expansion here for Jjakji. Second barracks being added on, second
Oh, is
gas
this Reaper going to get trapped? Oh, very close. Should go down still, I think.
It should die, yeah.
First blood.
Nice play from Mr.
This
Feast,
actually,
who's now going into armor.
That actually really sucks for Jjakji, because he's still got the SCV out they can try and scout with later. He did get that sneaky scout last time, but the biggest scout about that last game, the biggest tell about that last game was confirming the Stargate, getting back in, see me all in. You know, like, that's information now completely denied to him simply because the Reaper's no longer available.
Yeah, if he wants any information, he's going to have to burn a scan, which is the equivalent of about 360 minerals, so...
Whoa,
not
360. No, dude, it's like 270.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure. 360 is way too much.
Sure. You play Terran, so I'll trust you.
I would love if that was 360, dude. That'd be fantastic.
Drop the Mule Hammer.
Man, Mules would just be
Alright, Jjakji going to be pushing out with 9 Marines. This is not meant to do any damage, and it shouldn't do any damage.
No, it's going to force the overcharge.
Simply to force an overcharge. And the reason you see players force an overcharge, like, you may be thinking, it's only energy. The Mothership Core is just going to regenerate that energy. The reason is because then when you go for your big push with Medivacs around 10 minutes, it will only have 1 overcharge. So you go in, you force the overcharge on the natural, you lift up, go into the main, and there's no overcharge.
Observer will
That's the
see
idea
this
behind
coming. The poke, again, it's not too untypical. I love that he started +1 behind this, too. So he'll have that for that drop when it comes. But has to be careful. The force fields here could keep this locked in if he's not careful. Does split immediately to make sure that doesn't happen. But as Penguin said, the overcharge goes off. Might see this observer on the return trip, maybe? Yeah.
Jjakji's very good about seeing observers, but this early in the game, it's not necessarily worthwhile to actually scan for it because he needs the money. He's only got 2 CCs.
Yeah, that's a good point. As much fun as it is probably stripping that away, not entirely an option.
Don't you feel so good when you just see an observer scan it and be like, oh,
you're like, oh, I
dead.
caught that. But the worst feeling is like when you do see it and you realize you don't have energy to scan it, you look away for like 1 second and then you lose it. Like that is just the balls.
That's how I feel when I'm like, I see like banshees in my base that I just like follow them with my mutas, and I just like keep spam clicking behind the cloaked banshees with my mutas, and then I look away for 2 seconds and come back and they're gone. Like, well.
Well, Feast Probe here was not looking for proxies necessarily. He was just trying to scout his opponent's base as he had scouted the wrong location twice. We'll still lose the probe here, so not going to be able to get anything done on this half of the map, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, Jjakji already getting up to another pretty sizable amount of units once again.
This might just be that push. I mean, he's got stim. +1's not quite finished. If he pushes aggressively into the natural and forces that second overcharge to go off there instead of the main, then he picks up and it's just so deadly. Like you said, it's only 1 overcharge.
This is really nice. This is earlier than usual. Usually you see this hit around 10 minutes and it's hitting around 9:30. It doesn't matter. The Colossus is still out. I think it being earlier was an attempt to go pre-Colossus, but the Colossus is out. But he could.
It's got no thermal
There's
lance.
several options he has. Yeah, there's no thermal lance. There's several options Jjakji has here. I think he just wanted to force an overcharge. Didn't quite get it. But he does have the ability to split up this army and go for drops now.
And then the big thing about not having thermal lance, guys, the Colossus now has the exact same range as the Marauder, so stimming on top of it is not at all out of the question, but...
Yeah, the force fields are very critical.
Alright, well, gonna try and run away for now. Doesn't want to reveal that the army's a little bit shy, a little bit light. Stalker's not coming to the main, but perhaps a little too late. That Colossus so far out of position. Sword of the Sentry's trying to establish the third Jjakji, unloading in full, and Feast sees this. This is in full vision.
Yeah, Colossus comes on out. There goes the overcharge. But as you said, the Colossus can be jumped upon very easily. It's
goes
gonna
down.
die! And that's a big pickoff here for Jjakji, who continues to force the units to be at the third.
What's really big about seeing that Colossus too, he sees the Twilight Council going, but he's got to know that's Blink and not at all going to be charged. So, going to feel a little bit safer knowing he can delay his Ghosts. Now his Vikings on the way, but of course, kind of limited on what he can do. Picks off a pylon here. They're trying to maximize his range. And of course, this Colossus composition is still dancing outside the third.
Oh, he unpowered the Twilight.
Oh, did he? Oh no, that really sucks for dealing with Vikings, but. There's not a dire need for the Blink right now. There's such a large bioforce actually sitting over here. He could drop from behind. If he pincers in on this Colossus, there's still no thermal lance. Oh no, the Vikings are here too. This is gonna be rough. Feast is in a lot of trouble, guys.
Yeah, this is a really nice move here from Jjakji. There are a good number of force fields. He's going to have to land them perfectly. But the Viking continuing to pick away at the Colossus. The Colossus is zoned out. GG! And Jjakji taking an incredibly one-sided series there against Feast.
Yeah, 2-0. Nice sweep.